On this edition of UCentral News, a tour company is shutting down after a helicopter crash. I will have all the details next. The sun is out, UV rays are up, and tan lines are incoming. Carly Torbett will have your full look at weather later. UCO softball is on a hot 10-game winning streak. Ian Nickel will have your sports update next. Coachella's opening weekend was filled with as many stars as the sky. Riley Townsend will have your social media update later. All of this and more happening right now.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Zach Sexton.
And I'm Jeremy Ramirez. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
The tour company behind last Thursday's deadly helicopter crash in New York City is shutting down immediately. The Federal Aviation Administration made that announcement on Sunday. The crash killed all 6 people on board, including a family visiting from Spain. The FAA will review New York Helicopter Tour's license and safety record and will continue to support the National Transportation Safety Administration's investigation of what happened. The helicopter crashed into the Hudson River. Earlier on Sunday, New York Senator Chuck Schumer urged federal authorities to revoke the company's operating certificate. New York Helicopter Tours was previously involved in 2 safety incidents investigated by federal authorities.
Police have arrested a 38-year-old man in connection with an arson at the residence of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro over the weekend. The suspect, a Harrisburg resident, was arrested on Sunday. Reed Binion reports.
This type of violence is not okay.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro speaking just hours after what officials are calling a targeted arson at the governor's residence. The attack happened early Sunday morning as Shapiro and his family slept inside.
Reporting a large fire in the dining room on the first floor. They can see fire out the windows.
Fire crews responded to the blaze around 2 a.m. and extinguished the flames. The governor said he, his wife, their 4 children and 2 dogs, and another family were safely evacuated. However, the building is significantly damaged. Images of the aftermath show destroyed furniture, ash-covered floors, and some remnants of the Passover dinner the governor hosted Saturday night. Investigators say the attacker had a plan, coming over a fence around the governor's residence and forcibly entering the home before setting the fire. Police said he had homemade incendiary devices and was inside less than a minute, evading troopers who were searching for him. The suspect was arrested later Sunday.
I'm pleased to announce that we do have an individual in custody. His name is Cody Balmer.
Governor Shapiro defiant in the wake of the attack.
If this individual was trying to deter me from doing my job as your governor, rest assured I will find a way to work even harder.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Prosecutors say they plan to charge the man arrested with attempted murder, terrorism, and aggravated arson, among other charges. The suspect could also face federal charges. The governor said Sunday the motive was not yet clear.
Many Americans are worried about the U.S. job market. According to a survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, 44% say they believe the national unemployment rate will rise next year. That's the highest response to that question since April of 2020, which is shortly after the COVID-19 pandemic emerged. Nearly 16% of those polled also said they have concerns about their own jobs.
And now, Carly, we'll have our first look at weather.
Thank you, Jeremy. Looking outside, today we had a pretty sunny day. It was very gorgeous, but we do have a little bit of clouds, a little bit of overcast today. 70 degrees outside. Like I said, that little bit of an overcast with that wind coming in from the north at 16 miles an hour, but those gusts up to 22 miles an hour. So we were feeling that wind today. So that did make it feel just a little bit chillier than what it actually was. So 61 it feels like outside with that humidity at 28%. Looking at the allergy index, we felt that wind. It was blowing all those pollens around. So tree, grass pollen, very high. Ragweed giving us a little bit of problems on the lower scale. So if we are feeling those allergies, they have been very, very high these past couple weeks, and they are just only going to get worse with this wind getting worse. Looking ahead, nice weather this week, hot and windy on Thursday. Easter egg hunt, look out. We are going to be seeing a lot of rain and some storms this weekend, Friday through Sunday. That rain can possibly turn into some severe weather and maybe even some low tornado threats. So we will be keeping an eye on that for you guys. That is all I have for you right now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Carly. This morning, I visited downtown Oklahoma City to see the Field of Empty Chairs. I spoke with two people to learn more about the memorial and the powerful impact it continues to have. Jeremy Ramirez here, and today I'm in downtown Oklahoma City. Behind me stands the Field of Empty Chairs, a powerful reminder of the 168 lives lost in the 1995 bombing. Today, I spoke with two people to learn more about the memorial. Where children once laughed and played in the America's Kids daycare inside the federal building, rows of empty chairs now stand. A heartbreaking reminder of innocence lost, but never forgotten.
168 chairs representing one person who was killed sits on the footprint of where the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building once stood, and they are organized into 9 different rows to represent the 9 floors of the building. And then you have a column at the very end on the western side that represents the 5 people who were killed that weren't associated with the Murrah Federal Building.
Although it's serene today, this ground once shook with tragedy. Now it stands as a space for healing and remembrance.
Well, yeah. So my mom was killed in this event. So it's always been, something that's been a part of my life. And when something like this happens to you, especially an event of this magnitude, you relive it every year. And for me, being able to have to relive this every year, I want to try to reframe that. Try to reframe that in a positive light.
The Field of Empty Chairs doesn't just honor those we lost. It asks us to remember, reflect, and carry their stories going forward. I'm Jeremy Ramirez, reporting from downtown Oklahoma City at the Field of Empty Chairs with UCentral News.
Edmond Public Schools has announced their new superintendent this morning. The Edmond Board of Education announced Dr. Josh Dielich as superintendent of Edmond Public Schools. This appointment marks Dielich as the 23rd superintendent of the district. Dielich was Minnesota-raised but was born in Columbia. He attended Concordia University and the University of Texas at Arlington for his master's and the University of North Texas for his PhD. His education career began in Texas teaching middle school-aged children. Then he served in many administrative positions, including assistant superintendent at St. Paul's Public Schools. Dielich said, quote, "It is with deep gratitude and immense excitement to be chosen as the 23rd superintendent of Edmond Public Schools. I am truly honored and humbled to serve a district with such a rich tradition of excellence, and my family and I are thrilled to call Edmond our new home."
Oklahomans have 1 month until the Real ID deadline. After May 7th, a Real ID will be required for boarding domestic flights, visiting military bases and specific federal buildings, as well as to enter nuclear power plants. The Department of Homeland Security has been pushing back the Real ID deadlines for states since 2008 due to delays such as the COVID-19 pandemic. To receive a Real ID, Oklahomans must present documents such as a U.S. passport, birth certificate, or a U.S. permanent resident card. A full list of acceptable forms of identification can be found on the oklahoma.gov website.
Spring has sprung and the weather has been beautiful on campus.
Hopefully that spring weather decides to stick around. When we come back, Carly Corbett will have your full look at weather.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction
And response time.
which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why? My.
Oh.
Good afternoon, Broncos, and welcome back to UCentral. Like I said, a lot of rain coming in this weekend, even some possibility of some storms, so we are going to be having to keep an eye on that weather for our Sunday Easter egg hunts. 76 on Friday, some possible severe weather on Saturday, and then Sunday, a lot of rain, may get a couple dry spots, but it's mainly just going to be raining all day long. Looking at our current conditions across the state, everybody kind of had a chilly day today. That wind coming in had a chill from the north come in, so those higher 60s, low 70s, OKC Metro 72, Woodward 67, and Guyman in the Panhandle was 61. Going into tonight, it's going to get a little bit chillier. That we're going to have a little bit of that cloud coverage carry on into this evening. Winds are going to shift a little bit coming in from the northeast at about 12 miles an hour, and that humidity bumps up just a little bit to that 41%. And then looking at it across the state tonight, everyone's kind of feeling the same thing. Our hot spot for the evening would be Ardmore and McAllister with 52 and 50. Guyman in the Panhandle with 38, as long with Woodward with 38, and OKC Metro with 47. Highs for tomorrow, we're looking at 70s, about the same as we were feeling today, that light wind chill coming in from the north. So 70s across the board and a couple 74s down in the south. Storm zone for Friday evening, light, low risk. For most of the state, Guyman in the Panhandle, you are in the clear for now. And then looking at that 7-day forecast, like I said, next couple days, nice weather. And then Thursday, we are going to see that hot and windy come in, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, 90 degrees. And then this weekend is whenever we're going to be seeing that a lot of that rain come in. So Sunday on Easter, 68 degrees, a lot of rain. And then Monday, we're back to sunshine. Jeremy, Zach, we have a lot of rain coming in this weekend. Is that going to ruin any of your plans, even for Easter?
Well, Carly, you're moving my Easter egg hunt indoors. No, I'm kidding. I'm a little disappointed about that, but hey, I like the rain either way. What about you, Carly?
Hey, the best Easter egg hunts as growing up were the ones that were inside.
That's true, yes.
Unpopular opinion. How about you, Zach?
It's not going to ruin any of my specific plans, but it is going to make my drive to my family a little bit harder. Thank you, Carly. Coming up, what were the highlights of Coachella?
And what fast food chain is releasing new frozen treats? Find out after the break.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field?
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Good afternoon, Broncos. I'm Riley Townsend here with your Central Social Media Breakdown. This past weekend was huge for the music world. Coachella's opening weekend was a major event with a laundry list of star-studded performances and even surprise guests like Brian May, lead guitarist from Queen. On Friday, April 11th, Coachella opened with sets from Missy Elliott, Lizzo, rapper Glorilla, and South African star Tyla. The main event of the night was Lady Gaga with her headlining set. She brought songs from her new album Mayhem and old favorites including Poker Face and Born This Way. Saturday, night 2, was filled with Charli XCX, Troye Sivan, Green Day, and T-Pain. With temperatures reaching over 100 degrees, the weekend was hot. Coachella will continue with weekend 2, April 18th through the 20th. Country music legend Patsy Cline is not done sharing music with the world. The singer has been deceased for over 60 years, but 2 never-before-released recordings were discovered in a basement. Imagine that. The lost recordings include 48 songs from live concerts, radio, and TV appearances. These recordings were found in a basement. They had been stored there for 30 years and were still in their original acetate discs, recorded at the old WARL radio station in Arlington, Virginia. Cline died in a plane crash at 30 years old and only recorded a few studio albums in that time. Cline's daughter says these recordings feel personal and like you're sitting in a room talking to her. These recordings will be available for purchase April 18th and are only available on CD. This weekend in Stillwater, Mike Gundy was on the football field Thursday night, but not for football. Red Dirt music fans flooded Stillwater with almost 200,000 people coming to Stillwater to see the Boys from Oklahoma concert, a combination of Red Dirt artists including Great Divide, Jason Boland, Turnpike Troubadours, and Cross Canadian Ragweed. The concert was held in Boone Pickens Stadium with Mike Gundy announcing the show every night. Each nightly set was different, but Cross Canadian Ragweed and the Turnpike Troubadours were the headliners and performed each night. Cross Canadian Ragweed, the main performers behind the concert, got their start in Stillwater 30 years ago and showed all the love to their hometown. Wendy's is upgrading their iconic Frosty. Starting April 15th, new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions will be available at restaurants nationwide. Frosty Swirls are available in chocolate or vanilla. They swirl in a sauce of your choosing. Raspberry, strawberry, brownie, and caramel are the available flavors. Frosty Fusions blend in those sauces with extra mix-ins and create unique flavors. These flavors include strawberry Pop-Tart, Oreo brownie, and caramel crunch. These frozen treats have similarities to McDonald's McFlurries and Dairy Queen Blizzards, but similar or not, Frosty lovers seem to be excited about the new release. Jeremy, Zach, will you go try the new Frosty treats at Wendy's?
So Riley, hear me out. I had some Pop-Tart ice cream this weekend that was really good, and if it's anything like that Pop-Tart Fusion that you mentioned, I'm gonna have to try it. What about you, Riley?
I'm really excited to add caramel to my Frosty. I love to dip my fries in it, and I think the salty-sweet combination will be good. What about you, Zach?
Riley, don't hate me. I'm not much of a texture guy. I really, really love vanilla Frosties, and I don't think I can change now. Thank you, Riley.
Coming up, softball had a dominant performance this weekend.
And the NBA playoffs are set, but who will the Thunder play? Ian Nickel will tell you when we come back.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Hello everybody, Ian Nickel here. It's time for your Monday Sports Update. Leading off, Broncos softball senior day was this past weekend, and I talked to seniors Taryn Ritz and Lane Smith about their friendship entering the home stretch of this season.
The pitcher and catcher in softball have to be on the same page. And when you've been friends with your battery mates since you were 12, you know them like the back of your hand. But it didn't start out that way for UCO softball stars Taryn Ritz and Lane Smith.
And I thought she was weird because I had no idea what Binger was. Meeting Taryn was a weird experience because she acts the same now as she did when we were 12, so the humor was always still there, and I was just like this weird kid.
While they didn't come in a package deal at first, it worked out that way with Smith committing 2 weeks before Ritz, and the phone call Lane received from Taryn coming at an odd time.
She was the first call that I had after that, and she was about to play a high school basketball game. Like she's about to play in her full uniform, and I was just like, hey, so I guess we're gonna get to play 4 more years together. And it was just like two 12-year-olds celebrating getting to finish out their careers together. So it was an exciting call. Yeah, for sure. I was very happy. Yeah, and it was like, all right, I gotta go play a game, and I was like, oh, okay. We lost, but that's okay.
After 4 years at UCO, the duo enters the home stretch of the season with senior day occurring this past Saturday. All the emotions were being felt as the 2025 season draws to a close from themselves and head coach Cody White.
Just to celebrate them on senior day, that's the exciting part, but it's also bittersweet because they bring so much to our team.
I'd do anything for her, and yeah, this is hard. It's going to be a tough one to end for sure.
I think Taryn's just the kind of person that, she just keeps you going, and no matter what the situation is, and like she said, we've been through what feels like this crazy roller coaster, and for it to come to an end, it's hard to think about our softball careers, but I know that like the friendship is always there.
For UCentral Sports, I'm Ian Nickel.
The Broncos are currently on a 10-game winning streak, besting Nebraska Kearney 11-0 and 5-4 on Friday before taking care of the Fort Hays State Tigers 3-1 and 20-1. And Ritz was named both softball pitcher and hitter of the week for the MIAA. Their final regular season home game is a doubleheader tomorrow against Southern Nazarene. First pitch is at 4 p.m. And over to baseball, the Broncos went up to Warrensburg to face juggernaut Central Missouri, and the Mules took them to their limit in 2 of the 3 games. After dropping the first game 8-3, it took walk-offs in the next 2 games for the Mules to beat the Broncos as UCO fell 7-6 and 3-2 in 10 innings in the Sunday game. UCO is now 29-11 on the season and will be back in action against Rogers State tomorrow afternoon in Claremore. The NBA playoff bracket is set and the play-in games start tomorrow. Here's a look at the bracket. The Thunder have home court advantage throughout the playoffs and will either play Golden State, Memphis, Sacramento, or Dallas in the 1-8 matchup in the first round. The Warriors and Grizzlies will battle tomorrow night to determine who gets the 7th seed and will face the Houston Rockets in the 2-7 matchup. Then the 9-10 matchup will play on Wednesday, with the winner of that game facing the loser of Warriors and Grizzlies on Friday. The winner of that game will battle the top seed Oklahoma City Thunder in a best-of-7 series. And finally, with this week being our last week of shows here at UCO, today marks my last show with UCentral News. I don't have a ton of time, but I do want to thank a few people. First, Mark Scott and Brad Kim for giving me opportunities, to do what I love here at UCO and helping me with whatever I needed. Thank you to Mark Lowe and Brady Gray, who showed me how and what to do to be a great sports anchor and reporter, and were willing to give me feedback on how to be better. Thank you to every person behind the scenes and on-air member of our team the past 2 years, every coach and player that took time out of their day to talk to me and be interviewed, and lastly to my family and to my girlfriend for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. I'll always be thankful for this chapter here at UCO. And that's my time. Back to you two at the desk.
Coming up, a historic flight to space that has not been done since the Soviet Union. Who is the lucky crew that got a bird's eye view of Earth?
And Carly Torbett will have our last look at weather after the break.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Expanding horizons, making room for the new. The modern frontier is ready for you. There's more to discover, more fun to be found. Our city is rising, just look around. Attractions, adventures, excitement and thrills. Rooms of beauty and history where knowledge is filled. A convergence of cultures in spectacular places. Open skies, open minds, and wide open spaces. The modern frontier awaits you to embrace it.
Blue Origin has a historic human spaceflight that launched on Monday morning from Texas, and the crew in the New Shepard rocket's 31st mission will be all women. The 6 women going up includes journalist Gayle King, music artist Katy Perry, Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez, film producer Kieran Flynn, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, and the bioastronautics research scientist Amanda Wynn. There will be no pilots. It is a fully autonomous 11-minute journey above the internationally recognized boundary of space. The crew will experience weightlessness and witness views of Earth through windows. This is the first all-female flight crew since Valentina Tereshkova's solo flight on a Soviet Union spacecraft in 1963. Carly Torbett will have her last look at weather.
Thank you, Zach. Looking at that daily forecast for tomorrow, tomorrow's going to feel a little bit similar than how it felt today. So 7 in the morning, wind coming in at 5 miles an hour from the southwest, clear. 46 degrees outside around noon. That UV is going to be very high, so beware of tan lines, as Zach would say. Sunny outside, 61 degrees, and then 7 o'clock at night, we're going to see that overcast. Sunset around 8:03 at 68 degrees outside. Then looking at that hourly forecast for this evening, we're about at that 5 o'clock mark. Partly cloudy outside, so 71 degrees, and then 7 o'clock, it's still going to be cloudy. 68 degrees with those wind gusts getting up to 19 miles an hour, so we're still feeling a lot of that wind. Sunset's going to hit around 8:02 this evening, and then 9 o'clock it's going to be cloudy outside and 62 degrees. That is all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Broncos, that's all the time we have for you today. My name is Zachary Sexton.
And I'm Jeremy Ramirez. Have a good night.